RPD back with you. Mastering breakdown for 5150, the fourth track on Hippocampus in Retrograde by Madi Jade. It's the hardest hitting track. Let's get right into it. So you can see here we did a little fade in mastering. I think this intro might be deafening otherwise. So yeah, a real hard hitter. So yeah, as I said, we did this fade in here. If you've been following along with the whole series here, if you remember the previous track, Full Moon Baby faded out, and then we decided to put this. Well, Maddie decided to put this one back to back since the other one faded out, and then I faded this one in, so that made a nice little arc there. So that's kind of cool. Let's get into the mastering stuff here. So first thing we did here is just chill out this mid range around 1.2 kilohertz. So let's have a listen. So on. Okay, so let's do what we did in yesterday's video. Let's exaggerate this point here. So I'm down 1.9 decibels on this point. So I'm gonna boost it instead so we can hear what this section of the audio is actually doing. So yeah, you can hear it's a lot going on, of course, in the mid range. That's the meat of the sound. But for me, what it's doing, if I had to put it into words, is it's bringing some focus because there's just a lot of chaos going on there, and that just sort of chills it out just a little bit, so where your ear knows where to focus. So next up, we have the soft tube tape plugin here. So on this one, I'm running on the Type C simulation on, I think it was the first track on frequency. We're on the Type B. So let's give this one a little listen and try to figure out what's going on with this one, because there's something very particular that's going to happen with this plug-in on and off. So on. So yeah, what did your ear tell you? I actually couldn't believe when I saw this. I thought I'd made a mistake or something like that, but this high frequency trim here, it's all the way down to the cut side. So we're really cutting out a lot of the high frequency here. But again, it's just, for me, it's just putting it where it wanted to be. Again, when I looked back, I couldn't believe that I'd actually set it there on purpose, but it does sound right. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of nasty treble that we don't need, apparently. You'd be surprised sometimes. You think you need all the high end, but you don't always. So yeah, that's what we're doing there. And then the next thing that's sort of working in tandem is the pull tech here. So let's take a look. So we're doing some 30 hertz boost here, so bringing up those subs. And also just a little tiny bit of 10 kilohertz, just putting it back in. So let's have a listen. So just toughening it up and bringing back just a little bit of that brightness in a different way. So let's actually bypass both of these and let's have a listen. So you can see on the output here, I'm just turning it down by about a decibel, a little bit over a decibel. And that's just some basic gain staging because I know that the Pultec plugin here will always add a little bit of level. That's just what they do. It's an analog EQ. So if you've heard the term gain staging and you don't know what it means, that's basically what it is right there. Just the level that this plugin is handing off to the next plugin. So the next thing up is the Oxford Inflator. So let's have a listen here. And then next up, we have Pusher. And I'm using a bit of the clip, the soft clip here on the push control, 0.6, and this magic control as well. So let's, I can just turn off the magic and let's see the difference. So I don't know, I couldn't tell you exactly what that's doing, but to me, to my ear right now, it's toughening up the middle, and yeah, it's just giving me something I like. So we'll bypass the whole plugin as well. So it's just, for me, it's a lot more exciting with this guy on. Sometimes I hear some mixes and like people ask me for advice. They're like, you know, listen to my track and give me your opinion or something. And you know, sometimes it's like it sounds okay. It's like I'm not going to tell you there's anything wrong with it exactly, but it just, for lack of a better word, sometimes it just sounds boring. You know, it doesn't sound like it means it. It doesn't sound like it's given enough effort or something like that. So yeah, for me, this is just upping the intensity and making it sound like, you know, it's game day kind of thing. It's not practice. So next up from that, we're going into a limiter here. So just a little bit, maybe a couple dB. Let's see. Yeah, so about 1.52 on average, maybe a little bit more on some of the more intense peaks. So that's that, and then it's into the ozone. So we got just the tiniest bit of EQ here, just bringing up the very bottom subs. And then we got the imager here, and we're just taking the higher frequencies, the lower mids and the higher frequencies, and making them actually a bit more narrow. People think that it's you know, wider is always better or whatever, but let's actually listen to this and bypass. For me, with it off, it's getting a little bit actually too spread out. Maddie loves to pan stuff, and she loves movement in the music, and that's all great stuff, of course. But in this case, you know, I felt like just it was almost starting to separate or something like that. So just tightening it up a little bit like that helps the focus for me. And then just a bit of the hip hop stabilizer here, which is again just gonna be bringing us closer to home, and the dynamic EQ, and then the final maximizer. So again, like we've seen in some of the other videos, the upward compression and the soft clip, and we're on the IRC2 old school hard hitting limiter. So yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on here. Let's have a listen, just for old time's sake. right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with track 5. Take it easy.